group
This
of
conference will
elements,
now be recorded.
when you have a group of elements, these elements has to be traversed one after one. First one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. It has to traverse through.
Mhm.
So traversing means first we'll take the first value, we'll take the next value, we'll take the next value, we'll take the next value. So like that we have to traverse through one after one.
Right.
That's the meaning of the loop,
Mhm.
right? So in this element, whatever the elements are there in this, one by one element will come to X. First
Okay.
it will come the first position 1. First will, in the first iteration, it will get the first position 1. It will do the operation. I mean, here just a printing. You can do anything here. Second, after it will go back again because it knows its own size. It knows its own size. In other programming languages, like C, C++, Java, we will write for loop, right? For int, I don't think it will support here, but I'll just do int I equal to 0, I less than some condition,
Right.
colon I plus plus. Then you'll come here and you'll do some operations here, correct? Some statements. So here is what is happening. First it will take the I is 0. Then you're checking the length of the I. Then you are taking array of I or whatever it is. So whatever operation you are performing, you're doing here, correct?
Right.
You'll be doing like this. So here the meaning what you're trying to do, you are iterating through your array based on its size, correct?
Length of the array.
Length is size or length, correct? So same thing we have written a single line. So array is a collection of elements. It will really not require any incremental. Nothing is required. Automatically, first it will go to the first position. It will take the element. Second iteration will take the second position. Third iteration will take the third position. So automatically, when it ends its own position iteration, it will understand. Okay, I have done with my all iterations. Then it will come out of that. For iterating, we are giving the rocket symbol.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to string. These are the different string methods. Before we get into the string buffer, strings are immutable. Can anyone tell me what is the strings are immutable? It's the most important interview question people ask in interview. What is the meaning of string immutable?
We can't able to change that string value.
Can't able to change.
Once we declare the string, we can't able to change. It means that it will store in the string constant mode. So it have a future like immutable. We can't able to option to modify it.
No, we can modify. It is not saying it is not something we can't modify. We can modify. When you modify it, it will not change the existing object. We can apply your modifications and all. It will not change the existing object. It will create a new object.
Correct, Ravi.
Yeah, you can say that it will not modify the existing object. The objects will not be modified, and objects will be created when you do the modification. Okay.
So, Ravi, in other words, the memory location will change to where that variable is pointing.
Memory location, yeah, you can say, but it will create a new object, we have to say.
Yeah. I mean, just like we have the pointer concept of pointers in C. So with that reference, whenever we modify the value of the string, then a new memory location is taken, and then the variable points to that location.
Okay.
Takes the difference of that location.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? So what we understand earlier is, I have created one string. If I'm trying to do any modification of the string, it is getting modified, but it's creating a new object. It's creating a new object instead of modifying the existing one, right? But we do have something called mutables. We'll talk about that. Before that, guys, the strings has a lot of methods to character array, to upper, length, hash code, substring. A lot of methods are there for the specific to strings. If you want me to show you, let me show that. One second. There is so alt F11. Not this one. It's actually taking from Java. Here, if you click on what is this Control F11, it is not showing all the methods. Is it Alt F11? Okay, I don't know. I forgot that method. I can show you here. Okay, look at here. In this, you have a lot of methods. It's a constructor. There are the methods. Is empty. Length is empty. Length. Look at here. It will tells you the length of the string. Is empty. It will tell whether your string is empty or not. Character at. Char at is character at. To specify the position. Let's say I have a scala. If I say caret of 0, 0th position, what value is there? S. S is there. It will come off S. It will return S. Okay. Code point at is not really required. Before is not required. Get chars. They're all different methods. Equals. It will compare the equality of the two objects. Equal ignore case. Equals ignore case. You're comparing the two content and you're ignoring the case. Capital letter, small letter, you're ignoring that case. Compare to. Compare to ignore case. String start with. You can check the, let's say I have a scala. I can check that string dot start with. So I can specify that it is starting with the character, which character it is starting with. Ends with. So like that, a lot of methods are there. Index of. You can say index. You can change. You can get the index of it. Okay, and also substring is there. Reverse is there. So there is no reverse directly, but reverse is there in arrays here. The strings are, there is no direct reverse. Okay. So there is a substring. Why this is not working for me? Control F10 or Control F12? Yeah, Control F12. Sorry. Okay. It will show all the methods. Split, replace all. Okay. Look at here. replace all, replace first character, split, start with, subsequent, substring. So you have a two upper, two lower, two string. Two string is coming from object, okay. To uppercase, trim. These are all the different methods supported by um, string, okay. They're all the different methods. Okay, we can try some of the methods and we can execute and do that, like some basic examples like these things: character right, uppercase, length, substring. So you can just get those information. Okay. Okay, so split also you can use. This is about a string, and let's see, there is something called string buffer. String buffer, what is a string buffer? So strings are mutable. Sorry, strings are immutable. There is something called string buffer, like array buffer, how we have. Those are mutable. Let me show you that. Where is the string buffer? Yeah, look at here. Look at here. So you guys are very much clear that when you create a string, like a name equal to scala, you did, and a name equal to name plus spark, you did. What happened? It is modified and created a new object and assigned to the name. It is created a new object here. It is created a new object. Instead of modifying the existing object, it created a new object. But when it comes to the string buffer, string buffers are mutable strings. Okay, string buffer. String buffers are mutable strings. You can see here. This is a completely a thread safe mutable sequence of characters. Thread safe is the most important. There is another something called a string builder. There is another thing called string builder is there, but we'll talk about what is a string builder. String builder and string buffer both are same. String builder and string buffer both are same. The only difference is it's a thread safe. String buffer is a thread safe. String builder is not thread safe. I'll tell you what is a thread safe later. Okay, so mutable sequence of characters. Mutable sequence of characters. A string buffer is like a string but can be modified at any point in time. It contains some particular sequence of characters, but the length of the content of the sequence can be changed through the certain methods, some method calls. Okay, string buffer are safer using multiple threads. Okay, I'll just tell you simply. Thread safe means, let's say you have some reference, you have some resources. Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, let's say, yeah, thread safe online booking, I'll tell you. First, let's talk about non-thread safe online booking. Let's say I have a 10 seats. Okay, I have a 10 seats for a movie. I'm booking a tickets. There are four people. Let me write it here. Please let me know if I'm not audible. There is some issue with my audio cable. If I'm not audible, please either you can ping in the chat or call. So let's assume that I have one resource. Let's assume that I have one resource. I have a 10 seats available. 10 seats available. Okay, there are four people logged in. So let's say I have logged in. There is one more guy logged in. There is one more guy logged in. And there is one more guy logged in. So I'll call this thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, thread 4. Thread means one user logged in. Okay, and thread 1 is required 3 seats, and thread 2 is required 5 seats. Thread 3 is required 4 seats, and thread 4 is required 5 seats. Okay, if it is not a thread safe, okay, the 10 seats are available. When 4 people logged in and they saw, oh, okay, when the T1 says that there are 10 tickets, I need only 3 tickets, I can book. And thread 2, oh, there are 10 tickets, I need to 5 tickets, I can book. similarly others also will think. So when they log in, if it is not a thread safe, so let's assume that there will be some successful transactions and there will be failure transactions. Let's assume that thread 1 got the 3 tickets. He got 3 tickets. And thread 2 transaction also success. Thread 2 transaction also success. He got the 5 tickets. Thread 4, he also got the successful transactions and also he also got the 5 tickets. He also paid for the 5 tickets because when he saw that there is a 10 tickets available, so 5 tickets. So if you look at here, thread 3 also gets success. Let's assume that thread 3 also gets success. There is a possibility. 3 also success, he got the 4 tickets. So if you see here, there is a, since there is no proper updation in the seats, he got 3 tickets, he got the 5 tickets, he got the 5 tickets, he got the 4 tickets. So which one you'll consider, who got the double ticket, right? There is some one ticket has been booked by 2 people in this case, right? So data is not safely thread safe here because multiple threads are accessing the resource. The data is getting modified, but it's not updating. So whatever is modified is not updating. So multiple threads are allowed to process at a time. So this is it's the wrong, right? So they have to fight at the theater. For this seat is mine or that seat is mine. So if it is a secure, if it is a thread safe, look at here how it will be. Let's say I have a 10 tickets. So it's a thread safe this time. Thread safe means it allows only one thread at a time. Only one thread at a time it will be allowed for the transaction. So let's assume that the thread 1 came first. He will take the lock. For this process. He will take the lock for this resource. Locking system. The thread 1 will enter. He will take the locking. He will lock the resources. And he will come. How many tickets he want? He want the 3 tickets. He will book the 3 tickets. And he will update here. There are no 10 tickets. There is only 7 tickets. He will update. And he will come out and he will release the lock. Next, whichever the thread it is, let's say thread 3. Next, thread 3 is logged in. So when the thread 3 is logged in, he saw instead of 10 tickets, he saw only 7 tickets. So look at here, guys. This is how the thread safe works. Thread safe works like it allows only one thread at a time. When it allows only one thread at a time, the resources will not be corrupted. So next, thread 3 is logged in. He found 7 tickets and he wanted 4 tickets. He booked the 4 tickets. He will book the 4 tickets. When he book the 4 tickets, the remaining tickets will be 3. So the 3 will be resource will be updated, and he'll come out and he will release the lock. So like this, the resource will be safer. Resources will be safer from the multiple threads. This is called thread safe. This is not thread safe. Our one is not a thread safe. Sir, what kind of things I can go with a thread safe? What kind of things are not go with a thread safe? So if the resource is changeable, the resource is modifiable. If the resource is modifiable, don't go with non-thread safe. Go with the thread safe. If the resource is modifiable, go with the thread safe. If the resource is not modifiable, it is just a content. It's a constant. The resource is not modified. It's just a constant. Then go with the non-thread safe. So if it's not resource, the resource is not changeable. How many thread access to this? Always it will show the same value. If it is not modifiable, it will always shows the same value. Correct? It always shows the same value. So better we have to decide whether it has to be thread safe or non-thread safe. So here our strings are immutable, but string buffers are mutable. String buffers are changeable. So since they are changeable, it has to be thread safe. Since they are changeable, it has to be thread safe, right? That is the reason the methods are synchronized. The synchronized tells you it allows only one thread at a time. It allows only one thread at a time. It is called synchronized. It allows only one thread at a time. That's the reason if you see the methods of this, string buffer methods, let's take an example of append. Append means adding, modifying, adding. Suppose I have initial value, I'm adding some value to this. Append. Look at here, string buffer is actually synchronized. Look at the keyword called synchronized. So every method, before every method, there will be something called synchronized. So if the synchronized is there, it means that method is thread safe. If any block has a synchronized, it means that block of code is synchronized. If any method is named it the synchronized, it means it is a thread safe. Thread safe. Thread safe. Okay. All methods in this, not only this method, all the methods in this, all methods in the thread safe. Your delete specific character, replace, right? Substring, subsequence, substring, string, insert. The very less methods will be there, not like a string. The less methods are there. Here you have a reverse also. You'll be having a reverse also here. Let me show you that also reverse. Control F12. List out all the methods. Reverse. These are all thread safe. And also one more thing we need to understand here is the applications from uh, what I can say, like earlier version, older version, Java 1.2. Whatever the methods are there in Java 1.2, these are all thread safe. These are all thread safe. Initially, uh, they kept make every class as thread safe. Like string buffer. String buffer is a very older one. It's not a new one. String buffer and hash table. There are a few classes are there. Those are thread safe by default. You guys understand what is a thread safe? You understand what is a thread safe?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay, so thread safe means only one thread will be allowed at a time. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's move on. Okay. So that's what the thread safe. One second. Hey, close. Sorry, guys. Where is that? Not this one. Not this one. String example. Yeah. So look at here. I'm creating a scala. After creating scala, I'm printing that message. I'm printing the hash code of it, and I'm appending some value to this. I'm appending to the value to this. Okay, the value will be changed. Okay, so let me show you run this example and show you the different ways of doing it. Okay, let's go top. String buffer printed the value. You can see this one, line number 59. Line number 59 is printed like, and a hash code of the string buffer also is printed. Hash code of the string buffer also printed. Hash code of the string buffer, which is line number 60, and line number 61. Line number 61 has modified, and if you see the 63, I printed that. This one I printed. Here I printed this, and hash code, you see that it's not changed. Hash code is not changed. The same, but the string is modified. Earlier it was just a Scala. Later it became Scala Spark. Okay, so it means we are able to modify the existing object. We're able to modify an existing object. So you have a string buffer dot reverse, you have a string buffer dot delete, you have a string buffer dot insert. Those things you guys can try some examples. Okay, take as an assignment and try your own. String buffer is, so when to go for a string buffer and string builder. This is string builder. Is exactly same as string buffer only. Exactly same as string buffer. Buffer. The only difference is this is not thread safe. If you go ahead and see these methods in this, if you go ahead and see these methods in this, okay, let me show you. A mutable sequence of characters. This class provides an API to combination with compatible with string buffer, but with no guarantee of the synchronization. Everything is same. Append method is there, same. Append method there, here both are same. Delete is there, index of is there, insert is there, last index is there, reverse is there, replace is there, all exactly same as your string buffer. Exactly same string buffer. The only difference is there is no synchronize. Let me show you one of the method. There is no synchronize. Do you see synchronize? But if you go here, you can see synchronize like this. There is no synchronize here. These both are same. Only string builders are not thread safe. String buffers are thread safe. That's the only difference. If anyone asks what is the difference between the string buffer, string builder, string buffer, and a string builder. If anyone asks what is the difference between these two, you can just simply say that string buffer is a thread safe, string builder is not a thread safe, except that everything is same. Okay. And one more thing, let me show you this. I'm removing the reassignment. Okay, let me show this in the console command window. Yeah, it is already there. I don't think it can recognize. If it is not recognized, I will say java.lang. I'll import it. It's coming older one only. Let me copy. Yeah, it is recognized. Look at the SB. Look at the closely, guys. So I did SB. My string buffer Scala. SB string buffer Scala. I printed the string buffer. I printed the hash code. Okay, fine. Then I did the string buffer dot append. Did I assign? Did I assign? Reassignment is done here. You see the statement. Did it reassignment is happen?
No.
There is no reassignment, but
No.
still it is modified. Even though there is no reassignment, when I try to print SB, it gets changed. Don't get confused. Even without reassignment, also it will work. So I have removed the reassignment here. I will remove the reassignment here. Still, that it will get changed. Still, it get changed because the object is getting changed. Let's run this program. You may ask, sir, you have done the reassignment like a strings. How will I know whether you are reassigned or look at here. The SB is first SB is Scala. After change, SB becomes Scala Spark. Look at here. SB is Scala earlier. Then I did Scala dot SB dot append. It means the existing object is getting modified. I didn't do the reassignment. And if you do here, I did the reassignment. Right? That's the reason when I print it is giving the different option. But here I'm not doing a reassignment. Without reassignment, it is getting changed. It means the string buffer and string builders are mutable. String builder and string buffers are mutables. Mutables, they can be modifiable. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes, no?
Yeah, Ravi.
Okay. So yeah, so that is about a string buffer and string builder. If you guys have any questions, please ask me quickly. And there are set of methods in this. Please try insert, append. Append means appending, insert means insert. It will insert in, if you want delete, you can delete specific thing, or if you want reverse, you can do the reverse. So please try these assignments, methods.
Ravi,
Yeah,
if the object, I mean the data type that we use is mutable, then the methods like append and reverse will uh, affect. I mean, the change will happen on the same object. I mean that
correct,
then it is mutable, right?
correct.
But if it is immutable, let's say SB is not mutable, then it will only display the change, but it won't get changed itself.
It will not display the change also, right? See, if you look at
Okay.
here,
Hmm.
this is the name plus spark. I'm not going to reassign. Okay. Okay. Let me do one thing.
If we do it with some method.
One second. This is the name. No, there are
Yeah, yeah.
with in string you are saying
I mean,
in
in
string.
general, actually,
No. Don't get
we cannot
confused.
be we cannot generalize this concept. If
Okay. Look at here. Val. That's a course. Course equal to scala. Println course value before modify. What you will do? You'll say course. Okay. Now course equal to course plus or not plus. I'll do with the method. Okay, as you ask. I'm going with the concatenate. I'm doing a concatenate. I'm going to do concatenate spark. I'll give some space here because I want scala space spark. Okay. Since it is a val, it's not allowing me to do the reassignment. I'll just say var. Okay. Now look at this. This is after modify. Okay. Let me run this and show you. Then I'll show you the next action. Before it modify, it was scala. After modify, scala spark. Okay. Is this clear? I'm
no, so we
removing it.
reassign it. Okay.
I'm going to remove this
Mm-hmm.
with the method I did. Let me compile. I think there is lies disturbance. I think it's a fan. Before and after. The modification is happened. This modifications happened. You never know that whether it's happened or not. It happened in the background, but you don't have any reference to that. You don't have any reference to that. Since it is not modified the existing one, you need to understand that. Since it is not modified the existing one, so since it is a new object, for the new object there is no reference. You're understanding, Rishabh?
Yeah. Got a point. Got it.
So let's say take the same thing with the string buffer. I'm taking val SB string buffer equal to new string buffer. That's actually capital S, new string buffer. Here I'm taking the same course, okay, like a Scala. So I'll have the same kind of println statement, string buffer value. Okay, string buffer value before modify, and string buffer dot append space spark. After modify, I have not done the reassignment. Please look at that. I have not done the reassignment. Is this get modified? Is this get
Ravi, it means
modified?
that for the immutable object, once we declare a value to the object, we can't able to change it, right?
Yeah, you can change, but that object is not get changed. The new object will
Yeah,
be
object.
created.
Yep. Yeah, right, right.
It is
Okay.
getting changed. It is getting changed, but now it's creating. No, okay. Let me put in this way. That object is not changing. Operation can be done, but a new object will be created. It returns a new it returns a new object.
Okay, right.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to say that yes, it cannot be changeable, yes, you can say. But if the change happens, but it returns a new object. The change happens, but returns a new object.
Okay, right.
Sorry, is there any condition so we will get error? Suppose if we declare a variable with val and we are we try to change, we'll get error reassignment. Like this for this string, will we get any error?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Could you please repeat?
So suppose if we declare a variable with val and if we try to that, we will get reassignment error, right? Reassignment to val.
Okay.
Like this, is there any condition or cases so we'll get error while doing reassignment for string? Not will if you try to modify that.
No, modification it will not give any error. Reassignment only it will give error. See, if I declare value, it will not give any error. Val and var are same everywhere. Reassignment will not happen. Reassignment will not happen. Suppose I'll take the val here. Okay. Could you please keep mute, please? So I'll declare some val, right? I did the val here. Okay, I did the val. If I do like this, it will say error. If I do like this, it will say error. No matter whether you are using string buffer or what. This variable, this reference, this variable should not be reassignable. You're getting my point, what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Val and var everywhere is same. Their behavior is same. Var is you can redo the reassignment. Val you cannot do the reassignment. Val you cannot do the reassignment. So no matter whether you're using a string buffer or string builder or string. Okay?
Okay.
Don't get confused and try different examples. You'll be perfect in that. Okay? Please go ahead. Any other questions? Yeah, actually I'm planning to start with objects. I think I done with array. 1 second, right? Okay, so whatever we have done, like array, strings, these are all like a collection of a group of characters. So same collection thing we will discuss after this one oops concepts, like object and class. After these things, we'll go with the collections. In the oops concepts itself, we have inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, the other stuffs are there. We'll talk about it. So far what we have learned is like basic programming, functional programming, or I can say basic programming. Now we are going to learn object oriented programming. Okay, so like when you say object oriented programming, you are implementing some concepts, you are using some concepts like object, class, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, encapsulation. If you are using these concepts, if you're using the rules or these concepts in your program, that program we can call as object oriented programming language, right? Or you can say that object oriented program. So there are a few if anywhere you see that oops object oriented programming system or object oriented programming language, it means that language supports abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. That concept supports, that programming language supports these four, these four. Like one is inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism. These are the four pillars of oops. We'll call four pillars of oops. Okay, please make a note of it. Four pillars of oops. When we say four pillars of oops is inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, and encapsulation. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. Okay, so we'll discuss in detail about that. I think I don't want to start, it's a new concept in the next 10 minutes, but I'll just give you an introduction about it. Okay, when we say oops programming, as I said, that programming language supports objects, class, abstract, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. Any of the programming languages, any of the programming language or any of the programming language support these concepts like object, class, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. It supports these concepts. That programming language we can call as a object-oriented programming language. That programming language we can call as a object-oriented programming language. Okay, first try to understand what is an object. Anyone, what is an object? What is an object? What is an object?
An object is a reference to a class.
Object is a reference to a class. Object is not a reference to the class. Guys, object is anything. Object is anything. You can say your laptop, your pen, your notes, your phone. No, object is either physical or logical entity. Object is a physical or logical entity which has state and behavior and identity. There is something called identity also. State, behavior, and identity. Let's take a simple example. Okay, your mobile. Your mobile is an object, but it's a physical object. Your mobile is an object, but it's a physical object. This object has a state like color of the phone, model of the phone, right? Brand or company of the phone. These are all the states of the phone: color, uh, company, memory size, or configurations, whatever you call. These are all the states. That object has a states, right? And coming to the behaviors, what phone can do, your mobile can do, you can make a call, you can send a messages, right? You can play music, you can play a video. These are all behaviors. What else the phone can do? Phone can do, you can make a calls, you can make a messages, or you can send a messages, you can play audio, you can play video, you can do browse, you can whatever you can play games. These are all what? These are all behaviors of your phone, right? So if any object has a state and a behavior, that we can call it as an object. It can be a physical object, it can be logical object. Let's take a jar, small jar, or a bottle, water bottle. Let's take a water bottle. It's an object. It's a physical object. So what are the states of the physical water bottle? Color, metal. So this metal, it can be plastic metal, it can be steel, it can be copper. These are all states of your bottle. What is the behavior? What the bottle can do? It can hold the water. If you keep hot water, if it's a let's say it's a thermoplast, so it can hold hot water. It can, if you keep cold water, it will keep that cold for some time. It will maintain that, right? So these are all behaviors of your flask or your thermoplast or your bottle, right? So when I say object, it can be a physical entity or a logical entity which has a state and a behavior and identity. Okay, let's take what is identity in a mobile. What is the identity of your mobile? IMI number. IMI number or model number, these are all identity of that thing. If you take a bottle also will have article number or item number, right? Those are all identity. So a physical object is a physical or logical entity which has a state and behavior, and it has an identity. That's object. To create this object, we need a class. Let's say I want to create my mobile. I want to develop, or I want to create a mobile phone. So what it requires? It requires a blueprint. It requires a plan and blueprint. So it has to be this much in size, and this much is length, uh, this much width. It required a camera. So for the camera holes, where and all the camera has to be, front camera, back camera, 2 cameras, 4 cameras. So these are all model will design. We'll prepare one design. That design your class. That design is your class. Understand, guys? Excuse me. Class is a blueprint from where you will create objects. From where you will create an object. Any doubts? Any questions, guys? What are the behaviors of, or what the class contains? Okay, please go ahead.
No.
Okay, so let me show you some examples how the class looks. Let's say I'm creating a pen. I'm defining my pen. These are all state. My pen should have a name, type of pen, and color of the pen. It should have some state. I should have, and it should have some behavior also. It's used to write. We can useful. We'll use pen for writing. Right? It's a behavior. So this is a blueprint. If I create any pen, if I create any object out of it, that will be object. Let me show you how we will create object. Cello pen. I'm just creating cello pen. I'm nothing else. You can write cello pen. Cello pen equal to new pen. This is my object now. This is my object. It has a name, type, color, which are the states, and it is used for writing. You can write another pen. You can create one more pen as an object, name and all those things. Okay, so these are all different objects we are creating here. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? You guys understand? So class is a blueprint. This is also another blueprint of the pen. It's also another blueprint of the pen. Then what I'm trying to do, I'm creating whatever the pen I want. I want the Renault. I'm saying the Renault and it's a point ball pen and size and color. I'm sending it. I'm creating one pen. I'm creating another pen by sending some parameters. They're all states. Any doubt about class and object? Any doubt about class and object?
Ravi, can you show me the code for dynamic pen, the class dynamic pen
Only changes this one. Okay, you are passing parameters here.
parameters? Okay,
You really no need to
okay.
have this one, but you can comment them. You can, even if after commenting also you can access them. Let me show you that. I'll just comment this. I will directly access instead of one. I'll directly access this. Okay. It's outside, right? Outside, it will be local variable. You cannot access outside. Yeah, if you want to access outside, you should have a correct. You should have this one. We are making these variables to access outside. This will be used within this class. Outside, if you want. Okay. Yeah. Any questions?
No, Ravi.
So that is about the class and object. Anyway, in the next session we'll see in detail, and we'll be talk about the constructor also, most important thing. Class, object, constructor. Then we will go with abstract and other stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's it for now. Let's connect in the next session. If you guys have any questions, please ask me, else we can leave for the day.
Yep. Thanks, Ravi.
Thank you guys. Thanks for Have a wonderful day. Bye.